Would you ever paint your granite countertops? I'm sure the answer is probably no, but hear me out. I know a lot of people love the look of my granite countertops, but they're just too busy for me and they're just not my style. So a couple years ago, someone told me to use appliance epoxy on my countertops to resurface them, but they just haven't held up very well. Look at all the chips in them, and I don't like that you can just see so much of the roller marks. So I started out by scraping off all the old epoxy, little by little. And I'm not lying when I say it took forever. I use the Gianni Marble Countertop Epoxy Kit, which basically comes with everything you need to epoxy your countertops. After you tape everything off, you need to clean off your countertop with mineral spirits. Putting that very first little strip of paint on was nerve-wracking, even though I've done this before. This first step was by far the easiest. However, I did need 3 full coats to really cover the busyness of this countertop. Okay, let's talk about this marbling, veining, whatever you want to call it. I was so nervous for this. I've never done this before. So I definitely tried to practice before I finally said, F it, let's just do it. When I was doing the veining, I was trying to twist and kind of turn the paintbrush to make it look as natural as possible. And then I just sprayed it down with some water. And then last, I took a dry paintbrush and I kind of just blotted the whole vein, again, just to really soften the lines and make it look as natural as I could. This veining process actually ended up being really freaking fun. Okay, it's time to prep for the epoxy. This step is very important. Also, one tip, if you ever decide to do this, do not use this blue tape. Only use frog tape. Trust me on that. When you're ready to apply the epoxy, you'll mix up the resin and the activator together. Now, I did 2 of these at a time for a reason, because in one of them, I added this pure pearl white, which gave it a really, really pretty shimmer. I'll show you in a minute. Can you see the difference between the 2 of these? Now, this is the part that you really get to see the magic come to life. So as you can see, there's no real rhyme or reason to where I'm pouring the epoxy that has the glitter or shimmer in with it, but I kind of just wanted to spread it out randomly throughout the whole island. And then I just basically kind of moved that all around until I filled everything else in with the clear epoxy. I will say, I do wish that I would have spread out the shimmered epoxy a little bit more. So this is before I took the heat gun to everything, so the epoxy is a little bit wavy here, but can you see how beautiful that's looking? I use my heat gun to go through and pop all of the bubbles, and it's actually really cool to see how well that works. Oh, and catching the drips several times is super important. Okay, look how beautiful they are. I'm so obsessed. What do you think? Have I convinced you to paint your granite yet? Okay, maybe not, but they're really freaking pretty, right?